released a claymation music video for their new single, Burn the Witch. Released Tuesday, the clip featured an English town named Model Village that appears perfect before its citizens begin taking part in mysterious ceremonies that pay homage to the 1973 thriller The Wicker Man. Radiohead registered a new company, Dawn Choir LLP, led fans to believe a new album was on its way. Burn the Witch is seemingly the band's first single as of yet untitled Knife studio album following 2011's The King of Limbs. A similar tactic was used before Radiohead released Limbs and their 2007 release In Rainbows. The music video comes after the group erased their online and social media presence, deleting all previous posts. Now links to Burn the Witch appears on their website, Facebook, and Twitter after it was teased on Instagram. The song will be available Wednesday on all digital platforms. Rock legends, the Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney, Bob Dylan, Neil Young, Roger Waters, and The Who are united for a once-in-a-lifetime concert. The event announced Tuesday, dubbed Desert Trip, will bring together the special lineup from October 7th to the 9th at the Empire Polo Fields in Indio, California, the annual site of the Coachella Music Festival. Taking place during sundown, each of the historic concert will feature two acts performing full sets, one after another, starting with the Rolling Stones and Dylan going on the first day, McCartney and Young on the second, and Waters and The Who closing on the event on the third day. Desert Trip was put together by Paul Tollett, the CEO of the concert promoter Golden Voice, who wanted to top what he has achieved with staging Coachella each year. He said the theme was rock and roll bands that have been playing consistently since their early days. He said to the Rolling Stone magazine, "It's the greatest remains of our era. I'm glad we've made it." Tickets go on sale Monday, starting at $199 for a single-day general admissions ticket, with 3 days passes to sell from $399 to $1,599 for reserved seating on all 3 days. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1956, Gene Vincent records Bebopalula. When a music critic wants to indicate that a song lacks lyrical sophistication, he or she will often refer to its lyrics as being of, quote, Moon and June sort. It's a label left over from the Tin Pan Alley era, when even great composers like Irving Berlin churned out 100 uninspired Moon June tunes for every highly original classics like Blue Skies or Putting on the Ritz. If rock and roll has an equivalent in the area of cliched lyrics, it's probably Baby and Maybe, a rhyming pair made most famously in the smoldering early rock classic Bebopalula, which was recorded in Nashville, Tennessee by the rockabilly legend Gene Vincent on this date in 1956. The story of how the decidedly uncomplex lyrics of Bebopalula got written is shrewd in a certain amount of controversy. Officially, Gene Vincent's business manager, Bill Sheriff Tex Davis, is credited as the co-writer, but Chef Tex, a savvy 40-year-old from Connecticut, seemed an unlikely source of such naive gem. The story that has the greater ring of truth credits to a young man named Donald Graves, a buddy Gene Vincent made in Portsmouth, Virginia, Veterans Hospital. Vincent, born Vincent Eugene Craddock in 1935, had just re-enlisted in the U.S. Navy in the spring of 1955 when he suffered a devastating leg injury in a motorcycle accident. That injury would land him in a hospital for more than a year, where a fellow patient remembers Vincent and Graves tooling around the facility working out the song that would eventually become a classic. By the time Gene Vincent's demo tape reached Capitol Records the following spring, however, Graves had been bought out of his share and Bebopalula by Sheriff Tex, reportedly for just $25. It wasn't the obvious brilliance of Bebopalula, but rather the uncanny resemblance between Gene Vincent's voice and Elvis Presley's that explains the speed with which Capitol snapped Vincent up and got him into the studio. In fact, when Vincent and his Blue Caps recorded Bebopalula on May 4, 1956, it was as a B-side to a now largely forgotten tune called Woman Love. As soon as disc jockeys began flipping Vincent's debut single, however, Bebopalula became a smash, rising to number 7 on the pop charts and selling more than 2 million copies in its first year of release. Also on this date in 1984, New Jersey rocker Bruce Springsteen releases Pink Cadillac as a B-side to Dancing in the Dark, which becomes the first and biggest hit single off the Born in the USA, the best-selling album of his career. Springsteen, who got his start playing in bar bands on the New Jersey Shore, won a contract with Columbia Records in 1972. With the release of his third album, Born to Run, in 1975, Springsteen was touted as the new face of rock and roll in America, and he appeared on the cover of both Time and Newsweek that year. Though Born and Run contained no breakout hits, tracks such as Thunder Road, 10th Avenue Freeze Out, and the title track all got heavy radio airplay. In 1980, Springsteen scored his first real hit single, Hungry Heart, off his fourth album, The River. Outside the recording studio, he had become known for playing marathon live shows with his Eat Street Band. The success of 1984's Born in the USA would propel Springsteen to international stardom and secure his image as the iconic rock and roller of the era. Dancing in the Dark was the first of 10 hit singles off the album. Pink Cadillac had first been recorded as an acoustic version during the 1982 session that would become the album Nebraska. It was considered for an inclusion on Born in the USA, but didn't make it and was released as a B-side instead. Pink Cadillac was Springsteen's second song to reference the classic car brand created in the first year of the 20th century by Henry Ledden. The first, Cadillac Ranch, was included in The River. Elvis Presley, whom Springsteen and countless other rockers looked to as an early inspiration, famously bought a blue Cadillac Fleetwood in 1955 and had it painted a special shade of pink dubbed Elvis Rose. He then gave it to a gift to his mother, who didn't drive. That same year, Elvis and his band got into a serious accident in the car in Texarkana, Texas. The King's Pink Caddy, which he mentions in 1955's Baby Let's Play House, was repaired and today remains on display at the Elvis Automobile Museum in his Memphis, Tennessee mansion, Graceland. Though Springsteen played Pink Cadillac live over the years, it was not included on an album until 1998 when it appeared in the box set Tracks, a collection of outtakes from the rocker's long career. In 1988, the R&B singer Natalie Cole scored a hit with her up-tempo version of Pink Cadillac, which rose to number 5 on the Billboard pop music charts and to the top of the dance charts. Also on this date in 1929, Audrey Hepburn is born. The daughter of an English banker and Dutch baroness, Hepburn attended school in London when World War II erupted in Europe. During the war, the Nazis occupied Holland, where the young Audrey and her mother were staying, and the family suffered many hardships. Hepburn continued to pursue her ballet studies, and at war's end, she returned to London, where she modeled and began acting in small parts on stage and screen. In 1951, Hepburn was discovered by the French writer Colette while in Monaco shooting a film. Colette insisted Hepburn be cast in the title role of the Broadway version of her novel Gigi, and the young actress made her Broadway debut that same year. Hepburn's success in Gigi led directly to her being cast as the lead in the 1953 film Roman Holiday. For her portrayal of a headstrong young princess who falls in love with a journalist played by Gregory Peck while on the loose in Rome, Hepburn won the Academy Award for Best Actress. She won a Tony Award for Best Actress the same year for her starring turn in Undine. Over the next decade, Hepburn proved herself more than a match for Hollywood's top leading men in such hits as Sabrina in 1954 with William Holden and Humphrey Bogart, Funny Face in 1957 with Fred Astaire, and Love in the Afternoon in 1957 with Gary Cooper. As the inimitable Holly Golightly in Breakfast at Tiffany's in 1961, Hepburn earned her 4th Oscar nod for Best Actress. She was also nominated for Sabrina in 1959's A Nun's Story. She sparked a controversy when she was picked to star as Eliza Doolittle in the film version of the musical My Fair Lady in 1964, beating out Julie Andrews, who had originated the role on Broadway. 3 years later, Hepburn would score a 5th Academy Award nomination for Wait Until Dark, a film that was produced by her then-husband, Mel Ferrer. They married in 1954. She left full-time acting shortly thereafter, though she would continue to appear sporadically in movies, notably as the Maid Marian opposite Sean Connery's Robin Hood in 1976 Robin and Marian, and spent most of her time at her home in Switzerland. Hepburn and Ferrer had 2 sons, divorced in 1968, and Hepburn married Andrea Dotti, an Italian psychiatrist, the following year. They had 1 son together. After divorcing Dotti, Hepburn began a relationship with Roger Wolders, a Dutch actor, in 1980. In her semi-retirement from acting, Hepburn devoted most of her energy to charitable causes, most notably UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, for which she was named Special Ambassador in 1988. Hepburn's field trips from UNICEF took her around the globe from Guatemala, Honduras, Venezuela, El Salvador to Turkey, Thailand, Bangladesh, and Sudan. She was also an eloquent public voice for the organization, helped to raise money and awareness for its work, speaking before the U.S. Congress, among other venues. In 1992, she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Hepburn made her final film appearance in Steven Spielberg's film Always in 1989, in which she played an angel. In 1992, shortly after returning from a UNICEF trip in Somalia, Hepburn was diagnosed with colon cancer. After undergoing surgery that November, she died on January 20th, 1993, at her home in Lausanne, Switzerland, at the age of 63. And that is your entertainment report for Wednesday, May 4th, 2016. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.